Welcome to National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. Coming up, a national contingency plan in the event of oil spill underway, Grand Fort to host Achievement Day 2016, and the Kalinago Territory leads in renewable energy. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Thanks for staying with us. A 3-day training workshop to sharpen the skills of stakeholders on proper response in case of an oil spill got underway at the Office of Disaster Management on Tuesday. The training was organized by the International Maritime Organization. The Regional Activity Center, Regional Marine Pollution, Emergency Information and Training Center, based in Curacao, is the regional organization tasked with providing training to improve oil pollution preparedness in the Caribbean region. The training brought together personnel from the Forestry Division, Ministry of Agriculture, DOASCO, the Office of Disaster Management, Petrocarib, and other local petrol companies, attorneys at law, among others. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, Kendall Johnson, set out the objectives for the training.
The objective of the 3-day workshop is to review and update Dominica's oil spill contingency plan, develop a local oil spill response strategy for most probable oil spill scenarios, support agency cooperation, and improve links between stakeholders, industry, government agencies with responsibilities for oil spill response. The purpose of this exercise is to review the oil spill risk evaluation assessment of response preparedness conducted for the development of Clearwater's oil pollution clearance system for Dominica, with a view to provide guidance on how to assess whether the preparedness arrangements that are in place are appropriate in light of the potential for an oil spill incident and its consequences.
He says safer and cleaner ships must become a top priority for the governments of the Caribbean region, as the economies of these islands are largely dependent on tourism and fishing. The training will be conducted by 2 facilitators from the organization.
2 goals for our activities here this week. And the first is to raise awareness and preparedness for an oil spill. And that's a big part of what we're doing here today. You are here because you are representing the different industries in some cases, and ministries and departments within the government. I encourage you to, if you don't know each other, it's a small island, you probably already know each other, but to have those conversations today about what would we do in the case of a major oil spills. And you communicate now before you actually have a major incident. What you want to do is remove confusion in the wake of an incident, and it's always good to know what each other's plans are, what their responsibilities are in the case of a major incident. The second goal, and what we're going to do the rest of the week, is to develop the contingency plan for Dominica for a major environmental, mostly as it regards to oil.
Although large oil spills are not an immediate threat to Dominica, Dr. Elliot Taylor, who has had years of experience in oil spill management, says anything is possible at any time. He says having a plan will get the country past the point of being paralyzed in the wake of such a disaster.
I've had the pleasure of working throughout the Caribbean, Central America, South America for many years. And I've seen countries work towards this improvement. And sometimes it's difficult to engage all the people that need to be engaged. It is very important to have representation from industry, from government entities, from the tourism board, from fisheries. There are a lot of different interests that all could be affected by spills. And those interests need to come together and understand what the risks are, and then how they're going to manage and deal with those risks. I hope that you never see a spill. And this is one of the things that we all want to hope for. But the reality is things do happen. And what we need to do is have a very well-founded program in place that will help us address that instance should it happen.
Permanent Secretary Johnson says once an integrated national framework for oil spill response has been formulated, the process will be tested.
The key element in the ability to respond to a marine oil spill is the existence to an exercised and tested national response contingency plan that links the risks of a spill with the ability to respond while taking into consideration the threat to the environment. It is expected that the plan will include scenarios that are matched to an appropriate response strategy and capability, and to establish procedures to trigger external assistance through a tiered preparedness and response approach.
In other news, the Kalinago Territory under this government is leading the island in renewable energy. On Thursday, March 23rd, GIS News and the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for that constituency, Cassius Daru, walked through the community exploring the newest development in that area, solar power. GIS's Shakira Pear has this report.
160. That's the number of families in the Kalinago Territory who are set up and ready to enjoy the fruits of the solar power initiative written exclusively for the territory. The Ministries of Health and the Environment and Kalinago Affairs and the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center of 5Cs partnered to make the community almost fully solar powered. Funded by the European Union Global Climate Change Alliance, the project features a solar farm right in the heart of the Kalinago Territory. Public buildings like the Salibia and Maho River Health Centers, the Sinico and Sense Resource Centers, the Kalinago Barana Ote, the Tunubuku Center, and the Kalinago Council Office are hooked up to the solar power grid. These are in addition to 145 Kalinago homes with families selected by joint consultations based on need and proximity to the Domlec power grid. Randolph Burkitt lives in one of those 15 homes with a standalone solar panel system. Burkitt has lived here in Gullet River for just about 6 years. He and his wife are raising their 3-year-old son. They have never had electricity.
I go through Domlec and ask them that if I could get electricity, but they tell me the price of the post that I have to buy that I won't be able to reach because I have to buy 3 posts, and a post is $1,000 something. I will never reach to that. The last time they had the meeting up in Parlep had the meeting and they was talking about the solar. I really said that, oh, that would really appreciate me, help me. So I met Ashton and I was speaking to him about that, and then I say meet my Parlep and I tell him about that. Soon as it come the same week, he tell me just a little patient. When them people come, I had a pear tree there, they tell me cut it down and make a little foundation, and soon after, it didn't even take a week. I get it. When I get it, I couldn't thanks more than that. I couldn't thanks more than that.
It has been 2 months since the system has been up and running, and Burkitt has nothing but thanks for the people who have changed his life.
I really feeling pleased. Thank you plenty very much, because I feel much better. I have current, I can play my radio. Very nice.
The Honorable Parliamentary Representative Cassius Daru responding.
I'm very happy that we were able to help this family to have electricity here where we are standing. Because to get electricity here from the Domlec lines or Domlec pole, it would cost us quite a bit of money to get the poles, get the wiring and labor to get electricity here. And the condition of this family, basically, it was a need for electricity. I mean, in the 21st century, we cannot have our people living without electricity. And it's another blessing to the family to have electricity, and for us we are very happy because we are going green with electricity. Right now he's benefiting from solar energy, which he doesn't have to pay anything for.
Maho River Health Center is one of those public buildings which has been set up and is just waiting for the green light. District Nurse Doreen Etienne says she is happy about the upgrade.
I realize that the bills will be lower and I realized, well, when there is no electricity, Domlek electricity, we will get electricity from its solar system. So I felt good, I felt happy about it. It's an advantage. I figure it will be of great benefit to all of us, to the community and to each and every one of us.
She is assured that Honorable Daru will continue to identify and bring new technologies to the territory. The Kalinago Territory Solar Farm project was finished 3 months ago, and Minister Daru says the entire community is thankful.
This farm that you're seeing here, it's a 125 kilowatts farm. And what we are waiting for currently is to have interconnection with Domlek so that we could start distributing electricity to the Domlek grid. There are a few little, few little things that we need to do, which we have done. So we are hoping in the coming few days we will have Domlek coming in to do some, putting in some poles and some fittings so that we could have it connected to the Domlek grid. With the public facilities like the resource center, some of the energies will be sent back to the Domlek grid, because what will happen is that it will be producing more energy than the facility itself will consume. So when that is done, it will send back to the grid, and if in case there's a need for the usage of electricity at night, which is important, so it will be pulling back some of that energy that was produced.
The maintenance of the solar farm and grid has been outlined.
When this farm is commissioned, it is going to be a smart farm. So the staff at 5 cities will be capable of staying in Belize to monitor the system, how functional it is. Also, the engineer who is from Pakistan will be able to monitor and identify any faults in the system. Most importantly, we have quite a bit of our young individuals throughout the Kalinago Territory. And I can say during the implementation of this project, we had at least 35 young people employed. And out of these 35, we have 15 individuals who are trained, who receive training so that in case of anything, we have to move some of these panels, they would be able to unmount and mount back. We have, of course, our local engineers here who are quite versed in solar energy, so they are kind of a backup brigade so that they can come in at any time if there's a problem.
Locals have also been trained in its upkeep and online monitoring. The community, the minister says, has been ready.
Most of the residents of the community, they quite understand what is happening. They're very appreciative of the project, and they're just looking forward to receive the benefits of this project. You see, anything that you are doing that is new, you may have some people with some skeptical views. However, once you educate these people, they change their perception about what is happening and really appreciate it.
The project was first proposed by a former Kalinago chief and executed by Kalinago Minister Cassius Daru. He is honored by his role and finds pleasure in bringing a better way of life to those who otherwise wouldn't have.
And I'm looking forward to do greater things for the community. And I believe and I am convinced that with the assistance of government, we are definitely going to bring a change to the Kalinago community to make it much better than how it used to be 25 years ago.
For GIS News, I'm Shakira Pierre.
Thank you, Shakira. In other news, Dr. Ranford Paul Ricketts is the Special Advisor on Health and Ambassador at Large. Dr. Ricketts will be involved in developing appropriate strategies that will strengthen the healthcare system and, most importantly, handle matters pertaining to the delivery of proper healthcare services. He will also be responsible for reviewing policy proposals, monitoring implementation of policy decisions, and assisting in negotiations for mobilization of local, regional, and international resources for the strengthening of the healthcare in Dominica. Dr. Ricketts has been the national epidemiologist in Dominica since 2001. His appointment took effect in February 2016. You're watching National Focus, and more when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
Welcome back. The 34th session of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean was held in Mexico from February 29th to March 23rd, 2016. GIS News had the opportunity to speak with the Minister for Agriculture, Johnson Drago, about the focus of that conference. Honorable Drago represented Dominica at that meeting.
The FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization, is pushing the question of the support to farmers in rural community, especially family farming, for food security, most importantly, and for sustainability of these families. Because the FAO recognizes that in most of our countries, the poverty alleviation process for these families start in their successes on the farm. So therefore, they're pushing the support of this small group of farming. They're encouraging that we encourage farmers in rural communities to form groups, clusters, so that they could maximize their return from their farm.
The Labour Party administration also recognizes the importance of rural farming and farmers' groups for economic development, especially in rural communities.
I can give you an example. Some of the fertilizers that we receive from our friendly government, the government of Morocco, most of this fertilizer were distributed by the farmers' groups in the rural community. And if you go across the island today, you will see an increase in production across the border. Farmers were able to access these fertilizers and they were able to help themselves. And we continue to help these farmers groups to the best of our ability with tools and so on. So we will be pushing the support of family farming structures across the island for food security and the sustenance of rural families.
Just recently, the Honorable Prime Minister presented a young farmers group in the community of Penville with $100,000 towards their farming project. The community of Grand Fort is gearing up to host its annual Achievement Day. In an exclusive interview with the president of the Grand Fort Achievement Day Committee, Shirley George, she says the aim of this activity is to enhance the community.
The objective of the Achievement Day really is to develop the community. This has been happening over the past years where we have had achievement days, and usually the funds go towards developing the community. For example, right at your back you'll see the enclosure of the community hall. This was one of the objectives of an Achievement Day which was held a couple of years ago.
Activities leading up to this Achievement Day on May 1st will run from April 3rd to the 30th.
On the 3rd of April, which will be Sunday coming, God's willing, we have the opening of the Achievement Day with a gospel fest. We are starting the Achievement Day with a grand gospel fest with various artists from in Grand Fort and out of Grand Fort. And this will begin at 4 o'clock on Sunday, hopefully. Okay, on the 6th of April, we have spelling bee with the primary school. The 8th of April, we have history night with drama, skit and poetry. History of the community, history of our past, history of our persons in the community who were once community workers who were helping in the community.
Other activities include a hike to Denier Falls on April 16th, an outdoor fun and games night on April 22nd, the commissioning of the new Grand Fort playing field and the Grand Sports Day on April 24th, the Madame Grand Fort pageant on April 29th, and a breakfast festival and clash of DJs on April 30th. George notes that government has always provided assistance and believes that this year will be no different.
Usually the government has helped us in past.
with our budget contributing financially. We have not heard from them as to this year yet, but I think they are aware of our achievement day and they will always come forward to assist us.
She also commended the work of Grant for Diasporans who have been providing support and believes Achievement Day 2016 will be a success.
They are definitely playing their part. Those out, we had already negotiated with them, informed them of Achievement Day, and to be quite honestly, some are coming on board financially, in kind and cash. And in the community itself, we have persons coming on board too, helping with the Achievement Day. Hopefully, once everything goes on well, we are saying that it will be a success. We want the whole of Dominica to come. They know Grandfa already for its achievement days. Not that they don't know what we are having. They know we are there for our produces, our agricultural produce, flowers and preserves and other stuff that we put on display during the exhibition day. So we are inviting the whole of Dominica to come on April 1st, and even those who can come during the week of activities, we are also inviting them. But the big day itself, which is May 1st, we really want people to come out and support our Achievement Day.
In other news, the Chief Environmental Health Officer, Anthony Scotland, says that the knowledge, skills and resources provided during the 3-day ServSafe Food Protection Manager Training and Certification Program was not only beneficial to participants, but also his unit, as it revealed areas that could be improved. He was addressing the closing ceremony of this program on Wednesday, March 23rd, 2016.
Food basically is the staff of life. In the Dominica situation, it has economics and health implication. And we, from just sitting down there and doing the program, I see we have certain challenges there, still in environmental health that we have to look at, especially equipment, the use of the thermometers, because if you know that one of the major issues there was time temperature abuse, and it cannot be done without measuring. You have to have equipment to get it done. Our regulation, which is on stream, some of the gaps in the regulation that needs to be strengthened. Also, we're looking at the EHO reorienting this program, because I don't think we should be having a dedicated day on a specific day at a specific time to do a program. We need to look at how we can maybe get it done on a weekend or in the night time. You know, we have to look at new approaches to getting that information out to the public.
The EHU will also be looking into the certification of food providers.
The idea of certification of the farmers, the butchers, the food processors, fisher folks, that is critical. Because as you see that the first thing we're talking about, the food should be coming from an approved source, and we need to have a better certification program working alongside with agriculture, Bureau of Standards, environmental health, coming together to put the certification program in place for all these producers of food.
He also urged institutions such as hotels to make use of the now trained persons they have at their disposal.
If all the millions of dollars that you spend on equipping, say like Fort Young Hotel, if all equipment, at the end of the day, the safe food handler is the most critical person in that institution. And you need to be able to know to go and impact the knowledge, get the knowledge that you have learned, practice it properly, because as you, from the literature you've seen that over 80% of the foodborne illness is due to human error. So you could have all the millions of equipment, and then if you're not practicing safe food habits, then you could have the outbreak of foodborne illness will continue.
Coming up next, the benefits of eating soursop. Aside from the strong anti-cancer capabilities of soursop, eating the fruit may also have other benefits. Riboflavin present in soursop helps curb migraine headaches. Soursop is rich in iron, which is useful in the prevention of anemia. Soursop juice is also known to treat liver disorders. It also provides relief from the inflammation of the urethra and contains copper, which promotes the absorption of calcium, a nutrient that is essential for good bone health. That's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also now available 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kerdisha. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.